Welcome to the Real Voices podcast, where we explore the personal journeys of real estate professionals through their own unique challenges and successes. Real Voices is brought to you by Equitable Title and Escrow, providing a better approach to title and escrow through team support and innovative services. Welcome to another wonderful episode. I am your host, Marlo Randolph. I have a wonderful guest, Jeanie Fraley.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for asking me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I think I should have added MBA on that, right?
Yes, I'm very proud of that.
I apologize.
Amongst the many real estate designations that I'm very proud of, that's one of my biggest, is my master's in finance.
Yeah, that one stuck out to me on your card, so I thought it was
that's why I put it there, Marlo, to stick
out. Awesome. Yeah, that's a rare thing on the card, that does stick out. So it's a little bit of a niche maybe that you have there.
You know, I think it's definitely something that I've worked super hard for. Education was such a big thing in my house growing up. And my dad used to always say, learning is paramount. And I grew up in Pittsburgh. I was always surrounded by, blue collar, the steel town. And my dad was a steel fabricator. My uncles were all in the mills. My mom and all my aunts were, very traditional homemakers. And so I kind of thought, well, that's my way out. I need to go get my college degrees and my master's, and everything just sort of fell into place. And I bring all of that and all the jobs and things that I've done over the years to the table to land home in real estate. So
awesome. Man, you got me thinking, all the steel stuff that was still going on at your time in your childhood. Looking back on that, just looking at the changes of what's happened there, what has your family do to adjust, and what has that looked like for your family?
It's funny because when I take my kids back, and I grew up, I was there till I was about 26, got married, moved to Arizona. Okay. We've been here about 25 years, so you can kind of guess my age now. Nice going. It's like I said, learning is just so important to me, and education was a big thing, and just having jobs my whole life, from waitressing to retail. I was in a lot of health insurance, finance, and accounting, and a lot of report generation, just things that, I wanted that corporate scene. I wanted to work in the high rise with the pretty clothes and the cars. But funny thing happened along the way. When I got married, we moved out to Arizona. I did, the whole business consulting and trying to really move up in the corporate world. And I realized, we want to have a family. Yeah. And there I went right back into that traditional role of being a stay-at-home mom. Yeah. And I was that for a long time. And that was really important to my family. And luckily, my husband's a go-getter too. So he was able to, get us through that period. But the kids, as they got older and they're driving now, and I don't have to be at all the things now, and the baseball games and the football games and the doctor appointments, it kind of got to the point where I was like, I need to work again. I want to work again. I need an identity other than unloading the dishwasher and, running to the appointments and the laundry and everything like that. So, and it's funny because, you asked what it meant to my family. When we take them back home to Pittsburgh, or my husband's from West Virginia, we go back there quite a bit. We talk about, there's where mom worked. Oh, dad had a job there. Oh, there's a building where, they just laugh at me. But I think we've instilled that in them, that you have to do the work. Yeah. You have to do the activities, and you have to bring all that education and all the experience and all the networking skills and being able to talk to people, being able to call people, these are all things that I learned along the way.
Right.
And I was telling my son, Joey, who was a business major at ASU, I said, Joe, you could do a lot of different jobs your whole life, or you can have a career. And I feel like I did all these jobs along the way to find my final career. And I really believe real estate is that. And I just love it so much, and I can't get enough of it. And the MBA and the finance and the economics major, like who has one of those? Just all of those things are just perfect for this industry. And I'll be the first to admit, I love those HGTV shows and all the, while I was raising babies, and I thought, I could do that.
I can do this, right?
Yeah. So that's kind of, it's always, education has just been my ticket out Same for my husband, same for my kids. We are just pounding that into them. Get your degree and then decide whatever it is you want to do, you've got it. You've got it in your pocket, and kind of smash and grab and get all those experiences, and hopefully it'll all fall into place like it did for us.
Cool. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Those are, I love all those little things, especially the idea of work. Where I grew up, work wasn't taught, right? I grew up in a situation where a lot of the moms that were around were on welfare and things like that. And I noticed that my mom always went to work. I'm like, why your mom not at work? So it was instilled in us as a family. I remember falling on hard times. I was like, Mom, why don't you just go down and get some food stamps? And she looked at me like, boy, I work, right? And I was like, okay, I get it. So I appreciate that. The idea of just identity is what you said. It gives you purpose, right?
It definitely gives you purpose. It's funny you mentioned that, because where I grew up, we had a combination of that scene. Mm-hmm. You know, we had a lot of people in need, a lot of family members in need. Come from very humble beginnings, but I was fortunate in that I went to a very, very good high school with amazing teachers. Yeah. It was so good that a lot of the families that went there, their kids were very prestigious and very wealthy. We had a lot of the Pittsburgh Steelers kids going there. We had assemblies where the
players would show up.
The 79, World Series champion Pirates would come to our school and, have assemblies. And it was just such an awesome, I had a great, great childhood. And I loved every minute of it, playing on the farm across the street. And we used to have snowmobiles, and we used to ski, and, just anything we could do to just have fun and make experiences. It was just such a great way to grow up. But I think me seeing what was possible, those nice cars, those kids that got the nice clothes, it gave me drive.
There's something to that.
And we, like you said, there are people, though, that I meet every day that may still need help.
Right.
And, one of my first transactions was a lady who needed to get out of her house because she was in a bad situation. Right. It wasn't for money that I did that. It was because she needed the help. And I love the community of moms, and then the network we have, that you need something done. And I think I feel that so much every day when my friends and my family just stand there and support me and say, you can do this. Yeah. Some of my husband's coworkers were like, Jeanie, you'd be great at real estate. Go get your license. And I remember standing in the kitchen and saying to my husband, if I do this, I'm doing it. I'm not doing this halfway. I'm going to go all in. So there might not be dinner on the table when you come home. It might be a mess in the house, because we grew up with these traditional roles, but, I think we know that there's so much power in accomplishment.
Yeah, for sure.
And, but I feel what you're saying. There's so many that have supported me in my life with mentorship, with opportunity, just showing me you can go to the store and not have to use food stamps. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I really appreciate that you shared that, because I definitely feel it too.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about how long have you been in real estate? It sounds like you said some friends kind of pushed you along, but what was that initial transition for you?
It's funny. I'm in my 5th year. Okay. I'm rounding around the curve to year 6. My first year, I didn't do a thing. Okay. I got my license first try. First took my test. I had to show my kids studying gets you your test results.
That was a poke at some
of
you guys.
That was definitely a poke, you guys. Sorry, but I'm proud of that too. Got my license, and, I was still in that mode of momdom, where I was the PTA treasurer. I was the concessions manager for the football team, and just, I was nervous. I hadn't been in a corporate arena or any kind of business arena for a long time. I had done, some networking and charity events, like I said, PTA treasurer, trying to keep my hand in the pot and mind sharp. But it's hard for someone who's been up to their elbows in babies to just go out and start sales and marketing and, what app, what, it was just, it was hard. So I didn't do anything for a year. And then I think the best opportunity for me was there was a gal here at HomeSmart that started what was called an accountability group. Okay. It was called the Scottsdale Action Group. And a bunch of us would meet on Fridays at Equitable, actually. We would sit at the Equitable conference table every Friday. And those people that I met with, we would talk about our goals. We would talk about what we're working on, how our last week's goals went, and just getting up, getting dressed, coming into the office, beautiful corporate office here in Scottsdale. Right. Just talking to other people, finding out what they're doing. Those people were just essential for me to get started, and I want to be like them. I want to do what they're doing.
I like that.
And they mean so much to me. Another opportunity that I had here at HomeSmart, we had a professional development program where I sat down with a couple of other new agents. We talked to a broker, could ask any question, and she was essential to my success. She said, Jeanie, this is your business. You can do with it whatever you want. Yeah. So I thought back to when I worked in a cubicle in a high rise with people to report to. And, it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do 9 to 5. I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So, there were so many, there's so many education opportunities in real estate. And you hear about people's stories. Bobby Lieb, Todd Sumney. I mean, they're amazing. If you do what they tell you, right. It's going to work. Right. And that's, I decided I wanted to build a referral-based business. So I tapped into all my networks, all my spheres, all of my, and it's just now falling into place. So it's really a nice accomplishment to be able to realize that it doesn't have to be cutthroat and competitive. There are so many people that helped me along the way. And now I want to give back. And that's why I joined the mentorship program.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. You mentioned that you didn't do much that first year or anything at all. Was it fear the first year? Was it just not knowing? You felt accomplished because you got the license? What was that?
I think it was sort of a fake it till you make it mentality. That's kind of a popular saying in real estate. A lot of people don't know what they're doing. And I didn't want to do anything wrong. I was so afraid of making mistakes. I really take my clients seriously. When they need my help, I go in there knowing I'm going to get it done for them. Right. Listing presentations. If they call me, it's like calling a plumber. I'm coming over to fix it. I'm not worried about the competition. I'm not worried. You called me. This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to get you the most money in the shortest amount of time for your listing. And, or I'm going to, find you the best home you want. And well, that's a little hard right now in this market, but disclaimer. But, I really see it as a job. One of the jobs that I've had my whole life, but this time it's a career, and I'm going to give it my all. Okay. So that's really what I aim to do.
So a little bit of fear then in the beginning.
A little bit of fear of being able to do the job.
Yeah.
And then once I got a few transactions under my belt, once I realized there's such a support community, with other agents, other business consultants, whoever. Broker. Oh my gosh, our broker team is spectacular. And just friends, support. How you doing? What's it like to go back to work? Like, oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Totally get that.
And then once you get a taste for it, I just really, I love it. And I just hope I can convey that to any new agent that you can do this. Just, you got to do it. Just do it.
It can be done.
It can be done.
I try and help agents, especially newer ones, overcome that. I remember being a new licensed loan officer. And I was okay because, there's a myriad of programs, right? So I was okay with that. But then I became a professional VA lender. And the first couple of weeks, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm on the phone with people and they're like, do you want me to send your DD-214? I'm like, yeah. And I lean over, I'm like, what's a DD-214?
Fake it till you make it.
So I remember that, but I just knew that I was the professional, right? I have the license. I'm here. And so I try and help them understand that the fact that you were able to get the license is a feat, right?
For sure.
Right. They consider you a professional, you have a professional license. So at least hold on to that until you can become whoever you're looking to become.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk to me about the mentor program. I obviously see you love giving back, and you love that. From the perspective of a new agent, a lot of the times it's, they want more money from me, right? It's money this, money that, this program that. How do you help them overcome that when they're approaching you?
It's funny you say that, because a lot of the new mentees, I think they are younger. I don't think they teach you in real estate school that you need to know how to use a phone and call people and sales and marketing. I mean,
Right.
Newer agents have such an edge right now with all the apps and marketing. And we have amazing title companies that can help us with our marketing and getting people to know that you're in real estate. And I think that's the hardest thing with newer agents is they don't realize, when you're taking your exam and you're in licensing, you're just trying to pass your test, but they don't teach you about sales and marketing and opening a lockbox and all of the things that you learn in the field. And, that's the thing about newer agents. Just do the activities. They're like you were talking about the VA loans and not sure about what form to send. Someone has done this before you.
Yep.
Don't spin your wheels.
Right.
Find someone. We've got such an amazing support team here at HomeSmart. You can call another agent. Even agents at other, brokerages
right.
offer classes, and just constantly start learning. Learn everything you can. And you don't have to know everything all at once. Transaction by transaction, if something comes up, you can hold off, go look it up, go find out the answers. I'll get right back to you on that one. And learn all you can. Be a sponge.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's simple enough, right?
But answer your phone.
Pick it up.
Empty your voicemail.
Yeah, that's, really that isn't new. That was something that I heard even, 15 years ago. Man, you picked up the phone? Like, what does that mean? Like, man, I can't ever get anybody to answer these calls. So
everyone loves texting. I love texting.
Yeah.
I've got my phone with me all day long. I listen to things on my phone, podcasts, everything. It's absolutely wonderful. But there are certain things that you do have to just do face-to-face or call.
Just pick up the phone.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Eat the frog and just get it done.
I love it. Eat the frog. And typically what you find is that actually solves many problems that could have come up down the road because of the way I misread that text.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you do have to be really careful, but I think newer agents really do need to realize that you do have to put in the work. It's not, you don't just get your license and then here's all your leads and you go get your listing. You really
Maybe
do.
2006.
Well, I can't tell you what I was doing then. Probably changing diapers or so.
Different time. It's
different
a different
times.
time, right? I wanted to go back also along the lines of staying in front of people and staying busy. What are other things that you guys teach them to do? What are some of the things you do to stay in front of your people?
Once everyone kind of gets their confidence built on the small stuff, the transaction work, the paperwork, those things are going to come. Mm-hmm. My biggest thing is time blocking.
Okay.
I have a set schedule every day to get up, get dressed, go into my home office, and we have new times. Everybody's working from home. It's so easy to just lay around and watch Netflix, which I do not do ever, really. But my guilty pleasure. It's so you just have to have a routine. And I think that's probably one of the biggest business tools that I use, and keeping consistent. Send out your marketing, send out your postcards, your newsletters, emails, prospecting, have a good CRM that you actually use. Call those people every day. Even the buyers that just aren't ready to buy, they're throwing in the towel. It's really difficult right now in this seller's market. Just call them and just see how they're doing. And hey, don't worry, we'll find something. Just talk to people. Do everything that Todd Sumney's telling you to do. And
the Drive to 5, right?
Yeah, and Tom Ferry and all the coaches, they've all done this before. Right. Do what they're doing and do the activity. So, I try to set goals every year. In December, I will sit down and do business planning. I set up a P&L. My finance background and my accounting background just comes to the plate. And I set big goals and I track them and I check in with myself, quarterly but just do one open house every month. Send newsletters once a month. Send your postcards with every listing. The things that people are telling you to do are going to work if you are consistent. You have to pay to play for sure. It's expensive. Sure. It really is. You really have to pay for advertising, your licensing, your, every gas and time. It's and that's why time blocking is so important for me, because I can kind of plan that out but then you got to be ready to drop everything when someone calls, and that's the trade-off.
I hear you. I want to get back to the time blocking, but I have a question that I want to ask before then. How often do you actually open your CRM? How often does that look for you?
I open it every day, Marlo. I use it every day. I talk to probably 10 to 20 people a day. Okay. I'm either texting or calling or writing or getting emails. And I really try to be more proactive rather than reactive. Because when you're kind of getting slammed, it's, like lately it feels like a tornado just landed in my life and, it's not leaving. And it's a good thing, listings and buyers and just, a lot of transactions going on. I really have listened to the people that have told me that the fortune is in the follow-up. And I keep all of those clients on my CRM and I set myself reminders. Today's their house anniversary. Sure, you're going to send happy house anniversary card, happy birthday, happy whatever. We get so many emails a day.
Yeah.
But call them. Just call them and say, how are you? How's your daughter? How's your kids? What's going on? Are you thinking about selling?
It's time to change those batteries in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So again, someone has done this before. So just do the follow-up, do the, the CRM, I think it's such an amazing tool where you can buy into the programs that have like automated everything.
Yeah.
But for me, it's more of just keeping track of my VIPs and my very important people. And then when times are slow, which they always are, summer, we get that lull where nobody's buying, no one's selling. I go into my CRM and just pound away and just call people. Oh, I forgot about that one. And then you get a listing. Yeah. So.
Okay. I like it. Just stay on top of them. I like it.
Yeah.
Your time blocking. I had a coach back when I was working at Fidelity. She said she time blocks everything. She mentioned that she time blocked like her dinner. She time blocks her times with her children. And for me, I was like, man, I barely want to time block. And you're telling me to time block dinner? What? So, and she's like, oh, I get that. She's like, for me, my kids know that my calendar is important, and they know if that I'm not on there, then it looks like to them that they're not important. So I was like, oh, I get that. That makes sense to me. So how does that look for you? How does your time blocking? Is it everything, or you time block what you need?
I'm a huge planner.
Okay.
Much to the dismay of my husband.
I could see that in you. I could see that.
I love planning every minute. I love waking up knowing what I'm doing today. A mentor taught me once, do a top 5 on a Post-it note and get that done. Checklist. I love checklists. I love, So for me, yes, I do time block everything. I need to be better about respecting my own time.
I love that you said that. Thank you.
I had a mentee say to me, I'm really sorry I bailed on that Zoom call we were supposed to have, but I had to get my hair done. And I said, you need to be a little more respectful of people's time. And you're going to find that with clients.
Right. Yep.
They are golden. They're the ones you're supposed to cater to and bend over backwards for and drop everything for. But I feel like I've been doing that for everyone else for so long, just with family and work. And I think at my age, I'm starting to realize that I'm important too, and I need to honor my time. So yes, time blocking, I do, I try to do all my work in the morning when I'm sharp, showings when they occur. But if something's going to take up too much time, then I refer it, or I give it to a mentee, or I, say no. I'm learning to say no.
That's powerful. That is a powerful lesson and a hard lesson for people who are people pleasers and want to serve. But I'm recently learning that. I had someone.
I'm not an expert, Marlo. I'm still fuddling through this life, please.
I am myself. But the idea, and really, I had a person who was calling me constantly, and I wanted to help, but there wasn't any action happening, and I was really getting frustrated. And one day I had a coworker, I was just talking to her. She grasped my phone and she just hit she hit block caller. I was like, whoa, but that's a person that I love. She's like, but it's not healthy. You need to be able to respect that. And I just let it be. And I felt freer. She taught me that it's okay to be like, nope, not. And I'm okay with that. So that is relatively about 2 years ago that happened to me. So yeah, I get that.
I'm still learning how to do that, but it falls in line with the be proactive instead of reactive. And that's my new motto, I guess.
I like it. Wow. Yes. Learning and growing.
Learning is so important. And I'm still learning and I'm eager to learn more. And like I said, I just can't get enough. I want more education.
So tell me, what do you feel like you're most proud of that in your life, the thing that you cherish the most or something you're most proud of? What does that look like for you?
Other than my 3 kids and husband, again, my education.
Okay.
I feel like it was a smash grab in the beginning of my life. Get it when you can. Mm-hmm. That was my ticket. That was my opportunity to be able to just live and survive and get myself into those opportunities that aren't available to everyone.
Yeah.
I really, and I'm trying so hard to instill that in my kids, but they, I don't think they have as much drive as my husband and I did getting out of where we were from.
Where are they going to go compared to where they are now? That's the thing, right? Where would you go from here?
Well, with a good background, a solid upbringing, faith in the Lord, we can go anywhere.
Absolutely.
The possibilities are endless, and we know that. We have, love.
Yeah.
This is getting sappy.
Oh, no, it's okay.
But, we're so close, we're so tight-knit, and we know how lucky we are. We just know it. Whether it's not just monetary, it's just life. I'm so happy my kids are alive right now. I'm so grateful for the opportunities that I have and just the future that's coming along. So
it's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I'm having the same problem. I mean, my kids are great. I have wonderful kids, you don't have to worry about. But I just look at it as, man, I've come a long way. I always say, man, I have a pool in my backyard. It's cool. So I think about that all the time, and they look at it like, whatever.
We have it made here in Arizona. Yeah. People come from all around the world. They said 250 people a day are moving to Arizona, which is why we are in the industry we're in. Right. It's crazy. It's bonkers.
It's beautiful. And you can live here and you feel like you're in a resort. And so, I don't know. I feel my
like
kids.
Like a resort.
Yes. I love that. So I see you brought a book.
I did. You told me to bring a book.
Yes, I ask about books all the time. Talk to me about what you brought and why that one.
So I brought Becoming by Michelle Obama. I think she is one of the most amazing writers. She talks about her life. A very popular book. I'm sure everyone has seen or heard about it. But she talks about her upbringing and how important education was and learning. And there was one quote that spoke to me when I was reading this, and it was about her mother.
Okay.
And when she was a kid, her and her brother, and she said, when her kids' alarm clocks rang in the morning, her mother used to tell them, "You can lay in the bed if you want. I already have my education." And she goes on to say, "I always felt like I'm getting up for me." She said, "I got to get ready to go to school, not because my mom is making me do it, or in my case, my dad, but because she's told me that I'm responsible for my own education." And I just feel like that's how that just really resonated with me, because you don't have to do anything. Yeah. You can lay around and not do a thing, but you can get up and do it. And if it's for yourself, that's not being selfish. That's being responsible, and self-resilient.
Yeah. I like that. Man, I love that. Well, it's not for me. She's doing it for you. Oh, I love that kind of parenting.
I have used that line on my kids too. Yeah, you can lie around. I already have my education.
Like, whatever. This is your life. I said that. I'm like, hey man, that's your life. You got to live with it. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
You can make it or not.
Absolutely. I wanted to go back to your childhood and just thinking about all the wonderful people you had growing up in your life. Who did you feel like was the most influential, and what was that like? Why was that person?
It's funny. I'm the third child. My brother and my sister are 8 and 10 years older than me. My sister will yell that she's 9.5 years older. But they were my role models.
Okay.
They were like my second mom, second dad. I saw them succeed. I saw them push. I saw them do what they had to do. And they were just fun to be around.
Okay.
They taught me humility. They taught me love. We were a really close family. My mom and dad we were all very close. And it was just nice to have them, but they moved out when I was so young.
Yeah.
So I missed them terribly. And, as an adult, it's just so fun to go back and talk about when we were kids and the things we did. And so I'd have to say brother and sister, definitely.
Man, that's the first time I've heard the brother and sister was I appreciate that. Who knows what our siblings looked at for how they saw us, I was the older brother, so I think about that often, like, man, did I? But yeah, so thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. As far as adventure, what do you feel like the most adventurous thing you've ever done in your life?
Boy, I'm pretty boring, Marlo. I don't know about adventure. Just traveling.
Okay.
I have to say, I could stay at home for the rest of my life and be happy. My husband's very good about getting us going. We've traveled quite a bit. One of our big things was seeing all the baseball stadiums around the country. So I think we've seen 20 out of 31 or 32. I kind of lost count, but there's still more to see. COVID kind of put a damper on some of our trips, but he was so great about getting us going to different ballparks and different cities and just experiencing different foods and cultures. And I mean, Miami is so fun. New York is awesome. Even LA. We've been almost everywhere. Chicago is my favorite. I think that's probably the most adventurous because with 3 kids in tow, we've done 10-day trips where we flew into Philly, drove to New York, went to Cooperstown, Toronto, Niagara Falls, like all in one trip.
Man, that's like a National Lampoon's
exactly,
vacation.
Yeah. We were like the traveling Griswolds. So I think, it doesn't sound like that adventurous, but I think that's probably what I would answer. Just hitting the road and
that is cool.
Traveling with 3 kids.
Yeah, that's cool.
We take them always with us. So
that is cool.
And as they get older, we're trying to get in those last trips because we know it won't last forever.
Well, maybe they'll bring some grandkids around.
Oh boy, not yet. Not yet.
Awesome. Well, I had a great conversation with you. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Where can the people find you at? Phone, email?
Well, like I said, I love to text, but you can call me anytime. I'm also at JeanieFraleyRealtor.com.
Okay.
jfraley@hsmove.com.
And how about your phone number?
602-526-5305.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This was fun. Thank you.